Good morning, fellas. First of all, I'm going camping. I'll be up in at a boating campsite up in Tahoe for the weekend, so no emails, please. Secondly, to that thigh dude, Google Beyond the Melting Pot. Beyond the Melting Pot, okay? And this was written in 1990. Someday soon, surely much sooner than most people who filled out their consensus forms last week realized, white Americans will become a minority group. Long before that day arrives, the presumption that the typical U.S. citizen is someone who traces his or her descent in a direct line to Europe will be part of the past. By the time these elementary students in Brentwood Science Magnet School in Brentwood, California reach midlife, their diverse ethnic experience in the classroom will be echoed in the neighborhoods and workplaces throughout the U.S. Already, 1 American in 4 defines himself as Hispanic or non-white. If current trends in immigration and birth rates persist, the Hispanic population will have further increased an estimated 21%, the Asian presence about 22%, blacks almost 12%, and whites little more than 2% when the 20th century ends. By 2020, a date no further into the future than John F. Kennedy's election is in the past, and this was from 1990. This is old information there, thigh dude. It's nothing new. Negative birth rates all over the world. You guys got to get back to fucking and producing babies, okay? There's Beyond the Melting Pot started way back in 1983, it looks like. I'm reading another article here. By the way, the first article was from Times Magazine, okay? Times Magazine. It's not some wiki crap or any of that stuff. It's called Beyond the Melting Pot. Look for the Times Magazine US, okay? And you can find it online. You can say all you want to about, oh, that's not a valid source and all that kind of stuff. That's just you being in denial, fella, okay? And I'm not going to call you by your name so you don't whine about it and stuff like that. Let's go on to some mail now. Unknown history. Hey, Player Supreme, I thought that since you're doing uploads on Black history, you could also discuss topics like Gandhi and his hatred for black people, because I know it's common misconception from blacks that he is a positive influence on the civil rights movement. I was born during the civil rights movement. I don't remember that Gandhi. I know Martin Luther King, referred to people like that and stuff like that, but Malcolm X didn't, and other hardline civil rights people didn't. But I'm not. That's a thing of the past, and I don't want to trash the name Gandhi, because he did bring some good. I realized he had some racial issues himself going on, because he was brown-skinned and he was treated like shit, and that's what caused his issues. Okay, let's see. Next one. I went to Shreveport, Bossier City, Louisiana Downs last Wednesday, just passed on a shuttle bus. So this is Cool Teddy X saying this. And it was my first time betting on a horse race and won some money on it. But there was a player hater, my mother's friend. And then he goes on to talk about she's a fat, black, mean, ugly bitch. I guess he's mad at her. I'm sorry that happened to you, brother. Next, brother, Night Dave. I've been thinking of if I should buy Plenty of Fish or 7 Steps book. What do you think I should buy first? 7 Steps is not a book. It's now a 17-day actual program. The book was broken up into 7 days, and there's 3 days in between each section. So it's also a boot camp, and I stretched it out with extra stuff. And I believe it's going on. You get mail for 17 days with things to do and things to read and exercise and all that kind of stuff. So it's like a mini confidence kicker / learn how to get a woman program. Okay, that's my way of doing a boot camp out there, because I can't get to you, and it's still the same price. Someone's replied to me. He might need a size 15 upside the head. I'm about an inch short on that one. I got 14s. Let's see. Hey, Supreme, this brother needs help. He sent me a rather spiteful reply to a nice guys finished last vid when I replied to someone that nice guys creep women out because they're fucked up energy. I learned that from you, by the way. Anyways, his reply to that, and then he quoted the guy's reply, creep women out. Okay, well, I have been called creepy unfairly. And that's where a lot of fellows are in denial who are nice guys. They get mad about that, and I understand how they feel. You know, I feel for nice guys. You know, you're taught to be a man of your heart and be nice to women. That's the programming that women give, especially single-parent mothers, to their children, because they don't know how to raise a man. Okay, and a lot of African-American fathers are not in the picture. 70%. Okay, so I realized there's a lot of problems in the African-American community. I wish this was the 60s when I was coming up. I was born in 59, so I wish this was the 60s when it was only 12%. And look what's happened to us as a race. And look at us now, too. I'm looking at the bad side, but there's also the good side, okay? There's been a lot of good that's went on. So we can't just focus on just the bad side, and I apologize for that. But that is one of the bad things out there. But it's okay, he says, keep the insults coming. And we don't mean this to you nice guys as an insult, but as a wake-up call. That the best thing I think out there is if we can take a nice guy and give him a harder edge without making him a thug. You know, we don't want to be thugs or assholes. I've said many times, it's not about being an asshole, but it's about being a real man. Okay? That's a man with an edge. We'll not take shit from males or females. Okay? And then he gives me his channel here. And I don't know if I should go there. I'm kind of afraid now. Shit. Shy and smart. That's one of the things that nice guys like to say, that they're shy but they're smart. And that is okay if you just overcome your shyness, because shyness is not a good thing. He has a video, Women Hate Me. You know, if you establish that belief, that does become a self-fulfilling prophecy, okay? You will find that women will hate you. And to the fella, I don't know what his screen name is, but you might study the law of attraction, and that'll give you an idea of how the world works, kind of works. Okay, basically, if you put a bunch of junk in your head, you're gonna get junk on the outside. Okay, that's why I don't like to watch the news, all that negativity out there, because the news organizations like to get you all riled up. The world thrives on negativity out there. And there are pockets on YouTube, pockets out there in the real world of people who thrive on this negativity out there, okay? And they're the ones who get tooled the hardest by what the news organizations do. That's why I do not watch the news. I will look at, when I go onto AOL, they always have some big story there, and I'll glance at it, you know, so I keep in touch with what's going on, but I don't delve into the stuff, okay? Like I heard those two brothers and sisters got caught after a high-speed chase. Good. I don't, you know, go searching for bad information out there to fill my head up with all this negativity. And I know a lot of dirty type people, they just read that stuff and absorb it. And when you're really smart, that means you have a powerful mind. That means you have a powerful effect on your universe around you. Okay, so you gotta control what you put into your head, especially the more powerful your brain is. Okay, let's see, a new kind of cougar, maybe. Hey player, my friend's girlfriend has a strange friend. I need your help to understand her. This is from Captain America. Huh? This lady is 41 years old and sexy, who openly admits she's totally disorganized. Okay, so she's dating a guy who never answers her calls and texts 2 times a week making fun of her. Sound like a good brother to me. And only wants to meet in hotels. That must be his fetish. People have some weird fetishes out there. Good God. Her friend told her he sound married, but she won't listen. Yeah, he does sound married. Every Friday and Saturday, she'll go out looking dumb sexy. Or maybe you meant to say damn sexy. Ah, so you got a crush on her. That's why you're writing me about it. You like the woman, and you probably want to save her from that big bad player, right? Because you like her. Okay, let's see what we're going here. Let's see what's going on. Coming back saying so many young, rich, good-looking men are after her, but there's no proof. She says the married guy is rich and good-looking, and she can't wait to get pregnant and marry him, and openly says how she demands money and be taken out by the men who are dating her. Can you tell me what kind of woman this is and how to deal with someone like her? You don't. Okay. That is a female predator. As you guys know, girls come in good girls, freaks, and hoes. She is the third category. Okay? Because she is openly looking for men who are rich so she can take advantage of them. And that is a woman who is addressing the inner hoe, I should say. And that's really just a survival instinct in women. Okay, you got to recognize where it really comes from. These women, their survival instinct is so strong that programming from primitive days is so strong that they actively go out and search for that alpha male hunter. If she was in primitive times, she would have been the sexy one that would gyrate around the hunter to get him all excited. The uber male, those back then, the alpha male. You got to remember, everybody was an alpha male back then. But the ultra male out there amongst the alpha males, they all were alpha males. There were no zeta males, no weak, wimpy dudes. Wimpy people died out. Life was hard. You know, there was no place for someone born with weak genes. So these men were strong, and they had good survival instincts. Not like the men of today, and definitely not like the men since the towards the end of the 60s. Okay. So you can't fault the woman for her survival instincts. You got to learn to understand them. When you learn to understand, then you learn how to deal with and get what you want out of the whole deal. Because I've dealt with quite a few what you would call hoes out there. In my town, there was one woman. She was Hispanic. She was also an accountant, so she had brains. She had a nice convertible. She would ride me and my buddy around in her convertible. We would put on a show. We went to this place called Mace's. It's no longer open, but it's where all the rich people went. Like, if you Google a guy like Buzz Oates, that's where he went. And he was there. He wanted me to... He was an old dude, old white guy. Made a lot of money selling real estate. And his women around him were MILFs. He didn't have kids, but he had grown older women that were hot as fuck. And he liked for me to dance with his girls. I wasn't his boy, but he had some hot women, so I didn't mind dancing with them. But this hoish girl, and she, you know, predators recognize each other, and they can sometimes befriend each other. So we had a, what do you call it, parasitic relationship. Me and my buddy, we would get on the dance floor and do her really good. We double teamed her on the dance floor. And that excited the old guys. And then we would leave her. And the old guys would flock to her because she was seen as someone who was sexually free. And that's exactly what she wanted. It made us look good because the women, they love that sexual intensity. And they got fantasies themselves, you know. You'd be surprised how many women want to get done by two dudes out there. We once put an ad in the newspaper out here, you know, two handsome gentlemen seeking the company of a good-looking female. We had women show up at the door. So... it's kind of interesting, the fantasies women will have in their heads. So anyway, I don't fault the woman, but I suggest if you ain't got any game, stay away from her. Because these women, they got game. Peace.